So for our last assignment, we just used loops in showing you how to navigate around BandLab. Now that you've got that down, I'm going to show you how to bring in audio information. And when I'm talking about audio, I'm really talking about either recording a vocal, whether that be a voiceover, which is people talking, or bringing in an acoustic guitar or another instrument that you're playing live. And that could be any, maybe some of you play an orchestral instrument like a flute or a clarinet or a trumpet. This is how to record those instruments as well as your own vocals using BandLab. So instead of using instruments, drum machine, guitar, bass, or using the loop browser like we did before, I'm going to click on voice mic. All right. And basically, as long as you've got your microphone set up, and if you don't, by the way, if you don't have a built-in microphone, you want to use, let's say you want to use a USB mic that you might have lying around your house. So you would be able to do that here by selecting, as long as it's properly set up with your computer, it should work by selecting the input here and then choosing what microphone you want to use. Most of you will probably be using your built-in microphones, which is totally fine. So if you're ready to do that, then you can see as I'm talking right now, there is this little meter right here. And that's kind of measuring the relative decibel level for how the microphone is picking up your sound. If I shout into it, it gets red, and that's really bad. So that'll overload the system. Basically, it creates a peak, what we call a peak, and it'll add in distortion, like kind of digital noise that makes your recording sound really bad. Probably all of you have heard it before, even if you didn't know what it was called. So you don't want to do that. Unless if you could talk really quiet, then this barely registers at all, and that's not very good either. So you want to talk in a loud enough voice where we kind of get into this yellow range without getting into the red. And if you find yourself either being in the green the whole time or hitting the red, that means you need to adjust your volume level. You can get closer to your microphone or back off the microphone or speak it at different levels. And that's going to be important for you to figure out. Okay, so once you have your levels figured out, basically you're just hitting the record button. It will give you a little count off usually, 2, 3, 4. And now I can start talking, and it's going to be recording everything that I am saying right now. And then I stop. And you'll notice that there's a waveform that shows up right here. So once I start my project, and now I can start talking, and it's going to be recording everything that I am saying right now. All right, so there we go. And now you have the ability to edit this just like you would edit a loop region. You can make it smaller. You can loop it, which would be really weird in this case. And now I can start talking, and then I stop. And now I can start talking. Yeah, but there's some instances, obviously, where vocal loops are a good thing that you might want to do at some point. So anyway, that's how to introduce audio recordings into your project. And now if I want to add in music to that, all I need to do then is click on Add Track here in the left-hand side. And then it brings up this menu once again. If I want to add some loops, let's say I want to add a little drum beat in the background here. Let's reset this, let's go to rock, instruments, drums. All right, and let's just bring in Pop Rock Groove 1. Let's see what this sounds like. Now I can start talking, and it's going to be recording everything that I am saying right now. All right, so now you can see how we can kind of combine the instruments, and this is not just about loops. You can obviously record your own instruments within BandLab and layer them along with your vocals. And you can, of course, do this with singing or with voiceover. For this first project, we're going to be using a voiceover. So your job will be to create a radio spot, a 30-second radio spot, and it needs to be exactly 30 seconds. So you're gonna be looking at this time code right here, and right when it gets to 30 seconds is where your project should end. So you wanna make sure and you time everything out right. And then once you have got your script written for what you're gonna say, you're gonna be advertising some kind of product. So let's say you're advertising a new toilet bowl cleaner. I don't know why I picked that, but go with it. And so you're going to write a script, just like you would see an infomercial on TV or radio or on Spotify that would advertise this product. So you're going to write out your script, make it be exactly 30 seconds, and then you're going to add 4 tracks of music to it. And so you're creating your own radio spot. Just keep your product and your language school appropriate, and you'll be good to go. So you got your voice track, and then you got 4 instrument tracks, and then kind of layer all those together and add your teacher as your collaborator, and you're good to go. Thank you very much.